Hello, listeners. I just wanted to pop in and let you know that I have a nice surprise. This episode was recorded for the Mental Mastery Alliance that Adam hosts, and he gave us a copy so we are able to share with our listeners over here. Take a peek, and I hope you absolutely love it because the content is deep, it is exciting, and check out the show notes for any additional information, and I hope you enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Mental Mastery Alliance proudly brings to you its reigning champions of the world. That was a wrestling reference to some of you out there. I could have kept going, but I decided let's not nerd out completely. Speaking of nerding out, this is episode 346, and in my life, I have had two lucky numbers follow me around virtually everywhere. It's been strange, peculiar, fantastic at the same time. 3-7 and 4-6. I don't know precisely what it means, but there they are, always around me. And this just happens to be episode 346 as we sit down to record with the ever charming Kristy Morrison from a multitude of podcasts. I think she's up to 847 right now, but we're actually dwindling it down. So her and I ran a separate show. It was a good show. It was a short-lived show, but summer got in the way. Life got in the way. And I'll say this again. I've said it 1,000 times. A Canadian summer is one of the best summers you're ever going to have in your entire life. And between the work that we had to get done, the socializing that absolutely had to get done, the acquisition of new toys, new trinkets, new memories, new stories, took precedent, I think, over creating, but only temporarily, and only so that the next creations can be that much more in-depth, entertaining, and fantastic for us to speak and for you to listen. Ladies and gentlemen, a very long-winded intro. Please help me welcome Kristy Morrison. Welcome back to this show.
Thank you.
It's also kind of a swapcast because I think we are, to our rabid listeners, putting the kibosh on the Authentic Shift podcast. I actually want to rephrase that. We are not putting the kibosh on it.
It's not a kibosh.
We are streamlining our focus and creating, I guess, a more ease of use style. So easier for us to record, easier for you to receive, easy for us to promote and talk about, because there were so many things going on with the Authentic Shift. We wanted to do multiple hosts and multiple ideas and multiple platforms and give plenty of people space. And we found that your conscious journey, which already had longevity, needed some more love and was already essentially covering that. So
Yeah.
I guess the real depth is the conscious journey is now going to get a touch weirder, and certainly a lot more fun.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think you put the nail on the head when you did the intro. We took a break in the summertime. But I want to acknowledge that it's okay to do that. There's a lot of especially in modern society that they expect all of us to be produce, work. It's not sustainable. And we do have to go in these ebbs and flows and honor these pauses because we can't remain creative 24/7, 365.
Burnout.
We're going to burn out. So I think the streamline also allows us to provide, I would say, more concise and quality when we're talking. We're not going to worry about having to create content for three separate podcasts. It's now you have yours, I have mine. We're merging together, and those episodes are going to pop up on either or both, whatever. It's whatever the content is, and we'll decide where we're going to put it.
And that's the fun thing too about this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Before we were talking about going on air, I think to the avid listener of this show, you guys are aware that I'm a bit out there, and sometimes I say things that yes, that aren't absolutely necessary to be said on my show or other shows. But we're going to touch on some of those shows or some of those topics today. Especially relationships, because Kristy is always a great person to have on for relationship conversations, for energy, and for kindness. In a world where people or sorry, in a world where some of us are doing our damnedest to become more fifth dimensional, sixth dimensional, comprehend and understand things outside of our own ethos, she is, I mean, for lack of a better term, she is a relationship guru. Now, you can ask anybody in her immediate past, and they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" But the truth is, you don't get to any one spot without making an omelet. What? So to be able to really truly push a comprehension and understanding, you have to go through stuff. And I know you never want to talk about your own business per se. Not that you don't want to talk about it, but you're certainly not one to put yourself first because it always seems best to help others, and I get that. But your journey is one that has caused you such grief and such strife, like to the point where I mean I don't know if anybody even knows the pain that you've been put through, that you allow your mind to put you through, and just basically how things snowball.
Hmm.
And a lot of people want to argue this point as well, but I mean, pain and strife forge more champions than privilege ever will.
Completely.
So what you've gone through is something that you yourself be like, whatever, I just did it. It's no big deal. But what you've gone through has forged and shaped a really impressive human being right now who has all kinds of amazing information that she can intrinsically share with any male or female out there
Hmm.
listening to this show. Uh, and I'll say it now, and I'll say it again. If you guys have any interest in reaching out to Kristy, you can. What's your email? What's your direct email?
I'm gonna keep it on the conscious journey podcast at gmail.com.
There you go. Conscious
Yeah.
Journey Podcast at Gmail. It'll be in the show notes, but reach out to her, talk to her. She's also linked her coaching program or platform, which is still being worked out. You can find through the Mental Mastery Alliance as well. She's one of our coaches. So I say this because for every one person that's willing to speak, there are a million willing to listen.
Mm.
And for every single person that wants to start a podcast or start their message or send something, the one thought that often runs through their head is it's too late. Too many podcasts already exist. Nobody's going to listen to me. Well, I'll tell you this right now. There are less than 1 million active podcasts currently. So what that means is there are less than 1 million on this planet that people are constantly updating and uploading to and are active. You could easily find your niche and find X amount of people to listen to you and create.
Yeah, and
Absolutely
they
create.
say that we transform this world not by having a handful of people with multi-million followers. We change this world by having multi-million micro podcasts with just a couple handful of followers. It doesn't matter.
Hmm?
Like you can have a massive podcast, you can have a little bit of a following. The whole point is the content is speaking to specific people and they're tuning in because they need to hear it. It's an alignment. So I say pick it up and let's go.
This is exactly why I have, when people have asked me, how come you promote other coaches? And I've said 1,000 times, it's not about me. I don't want your money. I'm not here to coach you to get your money. I'm here to facilitate to anyone a message to get the
Hmm.
message across. You can listen to my message 1,000 times and it may never resonate, but you hear the exact same message coming from a different face. And you're like, wow, I get this. And so
Exactly.
that's the whole purpose of this. How many people can we introduce to a different way of thinking, a happier way of thinking, especially in a world, a third dimensional world where everything is doom and gloom and fear and scarcity.
Ew.
Like it's crazy. I've been doing this for 13 years, and we've gained traction. One of my favorite sayings, an old Chinese proverb, is one of the best times to plant a tree is 10 years ago. The second best time is right now.
Hmm.
Well, we've been planting for 13 years and growing steadily. The Instagram account is growing, social media is growing, the trust in the system is growing, the work is speaking for itself. Uh, on what's today? The 26th. So on the 20th, on September 20th, we crossed over 1 million views on the Instagram account in 30 days, in a 30-day period. After being shadow banned and thrashed by the algorithm for so long.
Yeah, you had to rebuild multiple times before you.
Absolutely. And some people that I mean the people that I came up with way back in the day, a lot of them are completely gone. As in like if you go to your messages and scroll back 5 years, the accounts don't even exist. They got wiped right out. But to the ones that weren't pushing the envelope, they're up over 1 million. And you look at that stuff and you think, okay, the metrics are good, the metrics are fantastic, but it takes forever to gain traction and to hit on something. And
Especially when you're speaking up against something that's being suppressed.
right,
It
and so
takes you could talk about, sunshine and lollipops and you could hit 1 million followers in, 2 seconds, but it's longevity.
that's not true. You can talk about war and naked people and hit 1 million followers pretty quickly. And that's what I was going to say. We have one post that's gone over 1 million views, and it is the Key and Peele post where he sits down for a cup of coffee, and he's going to put the Splenda in his coffee. Then a nuke goes off, so a giant mushroom cloud outside the window. He puts the Splenda down and pours sugar into his coffee. It's like, well, if it's over, I'm going with sugar. It's that simple, right? That was the meme. It was kind of funny, and 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 so that explosion yielded over 1 million views, like something depicting imminent death, happily shared. But I share stuff that's like, hey, think for yourself, be motivated, try these changes, try and adapt to this.
Yeah, if you're not happy, let's, try XYZ.
Exactly. And what do I
Let's
get?
grow.
Nothing. Yeah. I get
Well,
negative views.
we've all seen the meme that goes around there of, there's two people sitting at a wicket or a desk, and there's a sign for one that says, here's a prescription to solve all your problems. That line is freaking huge.
Oh
And then the
yeah,
other
yeah.
person's like, learn how to solve your problems naturally, or whatever the fuck the thing was.
Zero.
And there's zero people there. They
Yeah.
rather the easy solution than the actual hard work. And this whole experience is designed for us to face the work and do it.
Well, that's it. Your life isn't about. I mean, the one meme, the version of that meme that I've seen is hard work and exercise with an empty line, and then Ozempic with a full line, right? And we live in the Ozempic
Yeah.
generation. Now, the funny thing is, people are going to take the Ozempic, and good for you. Take the Ozempic, take the shortcut. But
No,
what
why?
happens after the shortcut's done? Apparently, you're ruined. Ozempic
That's the
ruins you.
thing. No one looks at the long-term effects of the shortcuts.
Yeah.
Fast food, what's the problem? Well, you're going to get morbidly obese. You're going to lose a lot of your freaking cells to disease. Cancer rises. I don't understand the shortcut. Like, literally, it blows my mind. The people that go on and they're just like, I just want the easy way. Microwaves. I don't even own a microwave. Fuck
No.
that. It kills the nutrients in your food. I will refuse to have it in my house, and I haven't had one for at least 15, maybe 20 years.
And people always say, um, there's no proof to that. Well,
There
I
is
mean,
proof.
you can do a study at your house, where you can take a bottle of mineral water, and feed a plant for like a month, and you can nuke a bottle of water and feed a plant for a month, and watch one plant live and one plant die.
Hmm.
I got to hit this button right here. Is it for Richard or is it for the audience because of what we're talking about?
Disclaimer. If you're going to soundbite any of this podcast, you must soundbite it in its entirety for consistency and context.
Oh, look, I
Oh
hit
my,
the
I absolutely hate that this world takes everything out of context.
100%.
Like, don't even get me fucking started.
So I guess this button here is for Richard.
In the news. In the news. Now. Now.
You know what's really funny about that bit right there? I actually intended it to go the other way. So even though I pressed the right button first, I actually pressed the wrong button first because I tried to go with the in the news, and then I just said Burton instead of button. So I mean, it's been a long day. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not really one for editing out sound, so you're getting all my Burtons in there.
I love it. I love the authenticity and the raw postings that happen. And you and I were very, like, you've been doing it your whole entire podcast. And that was something I also wanted to bring to my own is the authenticity of just flowing. We don't have to have perfection. I hate the world's focus on being perfect before you do anything.
Oh
Screw
yeah.
it. Put it out.
The idea of being perfect gets in the way of doing a really good job. And that's
Completely does. Yeah.
same.
It's like micromanaging the whole entire process.
You're
And
micromanaging yourself. taking the joy right out of it.
Exactly.
And I've seen you obviously when you started yours, how much effort you put into being perfect, and I've
Yeah, that's
talked
a
about
trauma
that.
response.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I say, even with my clients now. If you're listening, oh, hello, little fella. One of the biggest problems to those of you who aren't watching this video, I think if you are watching this video, you're watching it on the Conscious Journey podcast thread. We have yet to master the YouTube. So what you're seeing there is a little puppy. What
He's
you're
the
hearing
cutest. That's why we need video
is
because
me
everyone
talking about the
loves
puppy.
little
He's
puppies.
so cute.
And his name's Neo, just like, he wants to break the matrix like we do.
Look at that little guy. I miss him.
Yeah.
I was distracted as to what I was talking about too. That's a
Sorry,
shame.
that was my bad completely.
Yeah, well, what are you doing to me over here? Oh yeah, it's perfection. Um, the idea of being perfect ruins so much because like you sit there and even if you're trying to be perfect, it's casually removing authenticity.
Hmm.
And anyone that's watching something that is so pitch perfect polished, you're like, I'm not into it. I don't
Yeah.
feel it. I don't resonate with this. But I mean, some of the funnier videos are like somebody trying to drop a hint or trying to drop knowledge and they trip over something and they catch themselves and they're like, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, we're good. Like saying Burtons. I've even seen some people use this to like intentionally and we've talked about it before. But mispronouncing words, it makes people want to correct you. Those who are dead asleep still feel the need to correct you,
Yeah.
right?
It's so funny.
And the funny thing about being corrected on social media is it is engagement, and you
Yeah.
need engagement. So instead of saying fish, say fish. And they're like, "What? Why'd you say it that way?" Or fishy, she, like whatever. If you want to say
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna irk some people and they're just gonna be
yeah,
like, I can't believe they said it this way. They're so stupid. You're like,
yeah,
thanks for the extra publication.
yeah, potato,
Yeah.
taters, potato, potato.
Potato, potato.
You can say it any way you want, but
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, why did he say San Diego like that?"
But
That's not how it's pronounced. That's not what it means.
it allows people to actually connect and understand that we're human. Have you ever seen videos? You're usually like promotional videos of people trying to get them to use them for work, and they're so polished, and they're like, "Yes, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to help you this way," and then it's like glitch because there's an edit, and it's like, "But we're going to do blah blah blah," and then glitch, and then another angle, "But la 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 la." I'm like, I understand the principle behind editing, but it comes off as so fake and unauthentic that I can't use them. I can't. It's not
So
happening.
in that vein, I actually do that when I do my video editing. I haven't done a short in a very long time. Again, cobbler's kids. I have put my business on the back burner for the most part, and you guys wouldn't know because for the most part, for those of you who are listening to the podcast, they've been on time. Aside from this week, they've been on time, and that's because when I get a minute to sit down, I've had the opportunity to crack out 3 shows in a day, and they go out. We schedule them to go out, which is another reason why you haven't heard me talk about Charlie Kirk.
Hmm.
Or anything like that. 2 reasons. I don't necessarily want to get into the mainstream conversation, but at the same time, I have an entirely different opinion of Charlie Kirk that the conspiracy theorists will hate and the normies will hate because it doesn't go along with what they believe. And remember, too, if you are in a position where you are mad at somebody because of their opinion, you yourself don't have the ability to think for
Hmm.
yourself,
Hmm.
which will piss you off, too.
Hmm.
But knowing that you're completely controlled, he who is easily offended is entirely controlled. So it's kind of funny in that vein. So when I have these conversations, and a friend of mine even got up and left when he was talking about Trump. He's like, "Well, did you hear that Trump says Tylenol causes whatever he said, autism or something like that?"
Yeah.
And
They're okay to blame Tylenol, but as soon as you mention a V, they're like, no, no, it's not that.
yeah, so it's funny because he said Trump said that this is a friend of mine, and I'm like, well, it's true. And he's like, well, that's it. I'm out of here. And he like goes to storm out. I'm like, wait a minute, bud. I'm like, you're supposed to be a logical thinker. You're supposed to be an intelligent individual. Why on earth would you storm out of here when I said that? Well, I can't agree with Trump. I'm like, I didn't fucking agree with Trump. You said Trump said, and I said it's true. I said Tylenol's even on the record as saying pregnant women should not consume our product, right? And all of those news articles that came out in 2019, 2018, talking about the detriment to Tylenol, it's all out there, but it's so funny because so many people are so programmed to be divisive that they don't want to have that conversation. And what I'm getting at with this is, if you get angry, whether you're on the left or the right, if you get angry at anyone else's political views, you've been programmed to get angry.
Hmm.
Which means if you're pro this or pro that, pro Trump, pro Biden, pro Kamala, pro whoever the hell else, JD Vance, if you're pro any of those guys, you don't have the ability to think for yourself. And hearing that will probably piss you off. It would say, you could say to me, you don't even know me. And that's the truth. I don't know you. But how can I possibly know that?
Yeah.
And then the minute you start thinking and looking into what I've said, instead of getting angry at me, you're like, holy shit. Once you crack out your own walls for what you can and can't believe in, what you choose to believe in and not believe in, you realize that any one of your beliefs, if you don't have the ability to question it, becomes a limiting belief,
Correct.
which is paramount to becoming a more streamlined, better version, smarter, a version of yourself that can have more fun. Imagine getting angry. Imagine things happening and anger being your choice, right? These are the same people that are like, I didn't choose to get angry. Actually,
You do.
you did.
Yeah.
You could have chosen any other emotion, but you chose anger.
But that's also anyone who doesn't understand that they're not choosing anger, they also don't know how to emotionally regulate.
Right.
Which funny, like I even had this conversation with my friend Laura in my last podcast.
Hello, Laura. Shout out.
It's an epidemic where we see so many people flying off the handle. They're like, "Fuck you! I can't believe you support Trump. Fuck you! I can't believe you support blah blah blah." And they're just going back and forth, yelling at each other, losing their minds. They're even with the whole Charlie Kirk thing. There's people who are celebrating someone getting taken out. That's psychotic. But they're not those people. I just like I acknowledge. I'm like, you cannot emotionally regulate. You cannot see this for what it is. You're praising someone being taken out because they disagree with you.
Which leads into even more division.
Even more division. This whole world is based solely, I would say, out of division and keeping everyone apart from each other. Because if we find similarities and we say, you know what, we are all the same, there is zero chance that people can manipulate us the way that they are right now.
Agreed. And so this is kind of like the angle I wanted to talk about with regards to Charlie Kirk. I believe that humans aren't the top of the line when it comes to the food chain. I also believe that division is absolutely paramount, and I believe that people don't have the ability to see much past the division. So
Mhm.
I know that there are people out there that do. I've had conversations with individuals. Guy Anderson, for example, that was a fantastic
That
conversation.
was great. Yeah, that was a
Last
great
episode,
episode.
345. Phenomenal conversation, and so I know that there are people out there that do grasp it, that do see it, that do understand. And for me, I would love to have deeper conversations that go into this, because that's kind of what life is all about.
Hmm.
Charlie Kirk. Do I want to talk about who shot who? Do I want to talk about where the bullets are? Because there's
Does it matter?
so many
That's
videos
my
of weird
question.
things. Yeah. Um, and so it would be like, oh well, somebody died, somebody lost their life here, and I question that too, because I mean there are so many rabbit holes that I can go down and that I have
Hmm.
gone down that have led me to believe there are people in masks, there are plants, there are intentions. Like if you want to talk about this um, live action quote unquote assassination, they're still dissecting Kennedys.
Hmm.
Like the idea that Kennedy, and now there's another fella out there, and I'm not knocking him. Actually, I quite enjoy his work. I take it all with a grain of salt. But the fittest flat earther, he does some crazy work, and I don't mean crazy as in he's crazy. I mean crazy as in he ties things together that some of it may make sense. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me. Like I don't fully get it, but some of the stuff that he's doing, I do see.
Hmm.
And so people will get locked on why the celebrities are being repurposed, or that they're being repurposed, or that this celebrity is that celebrity.
Hmm.
I'm not so much tied into that as I am understanding that the idea of celebrity and everything that we do know about it is askew. And I'm okay with doing the work to try to figure out what it means, why they're doing it, what the purpose is behind it, and what it could all be. So for me, I'm not looking at right or wrong, good or evil. I'm not looking at crazy or not crazy. I'm looking at the possibility of everything, and I'm enjoying the mystery of where we live. Because like, who cares? We talk about manipulation. Like one of the biggest ones is follow the money. You're gonna have so many people say follow the money. Well, the powers that be invented money. They don't need it. Money. Money is just for us. It's for us peons to
Hmm.
dick around with. It's also a distraction. When they say follow the money, you're like, oh well, this, and this. No, well, that's not a thing. That's just another distraction for us to focus on. So if that's not the case, and if that's not the purpose, then there are so many other things that we can look at, and that's where my brain goes. I'm not going to argue anyone with the merits of where was he shot, who shot, why'd they take the camera down, what's with all this conspiracy stuff, what's with all these weird things that people are doing, and what's with these angles, and what's that guy doing with his hands, and why was his wife speaking at his funeral so fast? Why is it all public? Why did the president speak out about this man? I mean, if you guys think back to the 90s, the president didn't talk about anyone ever. Back in the 90s, everything was very clearly divided. In
Hmm.
other words, we knew what the news was, we knew what television was, we knew what sports were, we knew what UFC was and what wrestling was. We knew what all of this stuff was. But now none of it is anything. There's one giant blur. Whatever is on the television is on social media. It's all the same thing. There's no
Hmm.
difference between politics and wrestling. There is no difference. And the thing about that too is we've come so far in our journey. We've come so far, and so many things have happened. Like over the past, say, from the 80s, so the past 40 years. There's 40 years of documented statements. If the global warming doesn't change by the year 2000, we're all in catastrophe. Well, if you really look back at all of the posts and all of the fear mongering that they've used, and you can easily do it now with ChatGPT, you can be like, hey, pull up everything on this. And you'll see that the patterns never changed. It was always the fear of global warming,
Hmm.
always the fear of nuclear disaster, always the fear of this, that, and the other thing, but never the actual growth or change. Now,
Hmm.
since I've said that, somebody will be in the comments and say, oh, there was proof of nuclear war, just ask anybody in China type of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, again, this we can split this down into perception. We can split it down to story. We can split it down into absolutely anything. We can remove it completely from the ethos of what we believe to be the truth. Um, and there's going to be somebody who's going to argue your point. Now, remember this to all of the free thinkers listening to this episode right now. Anyone who wants to argue your point is going to do two things: give you the opportunity to figure out a way to create the answer that makes the most amount of sense. And it's going to allow you to witness just how limited they are.
Hmm.
Because when somebody wants to attack you, they're telling you that they don't have the ability to think, and they would prefer if you yourself didn't think, if you would just shut the hell up and talk normal so that the rest of you can understand what's being said. Now, do you want to dumb yourself down? You can't. And the thing is, we all come from a dumbed down position. We all wake
Hmm.
up.
Hmm.
Alan Watts has said it 1,000 times. Well, I've heard it 1,000 times. He probably only said it a few times. You're born out of this world, not into this world. And it is the experiences in this world that help create who you are and what you want to become and how you want to do it. There's nothing out here that you can't do. Literally nothing that can't be done. And to those of you who say they can't do it, it can't be done, I don't have the same gifts as everybody else, just know that your life right now is a direct result of all the effort that you've specifically individually put in. You're making adjustments. Are you on the fly here? Are you running away from me?
No, my Neo just sees another dog out the window and he wants to go play.
We couldn't hear him barking, so that's okay.
You can't?
No,
That's great because he's loud. Yeah, no, you're bang on
now we can
completely.
hear him. It's an interesting spot. So that's what you were saying before. Like that's another reason why I haven't touched on the Charlie Kirk thing because I don't want to address something that I don't believe to be true. And it's not that I don't believe his quote unquote death isn't true. Um, it goes much deeper than that. It's that I believe in characters. I believe in masks. I believe in intention. I believe in things being set. I believe that division is absolutely mandatory, and that the more that we're divided, the less that we're actually going to have any real conversations. I also believe that you can't stop people from being divided. So if
Hmm.
you see people creating division or tension, do your best to walk away because you don't want to convince anybody of anything. You want to talk to people who are already similarly minded and you want to expand and work with them.
That's also
Because,
too like we're energetically we're going to see a lot of more people withdraw from society.
yeah,
You're going to see a lot of relationships breaking down, whether it's romantic relationships, friendships, family. We're in an energetic time of massive upheaval, and it's
mhm,
because of all this polarity and division is no longer in alignment. And those of us that are similar to yourself and I, and we have removed ourselves from this energetic low vibration, and we're sitting at a I'm going to say it's a higher vibration. We
you and
no
I.
longer, it's dense. It's so dense being in the third dimensional world, and
Yeah.
we cannot sit there and tolerate it. It's like sitting in battery acid.
Well, you know,
We just can't do it.
it's even crazier too because the more the lighter you get, the more you want to raise up,
Yeah, 100%.
and
Uh, It's a
and the food is killing us on that front. So it's like if you're like, hey, I start seeing these things,
mhm.
I understand stuff. Like I'll tell you this right now, I don't know. I mean, unless you came into your awakeness, unless you came into your awakeningness from the health side of things. I know some people who woke up through gut biome,
Mhm.
but I'll tell you this, not a lot of people did. And if you didn't, if you woke up through pain, through whatever it is, you never think that a stage of your journey is to drop all of McDonald's,
Mhm.
but it becomes that, right? And I'm not just knocking McDonald's, even though I absolutely will. Come at me, bro. The actually, I can't say that because words are things, and this may go on to the other podcast,
Words are things.
and I don't. I've already hit the disclaimer button. Um, but yeah, so I mean, like, it's an interesting thing. Like, McDonald's just isn't that healthy, and I'm not lying about anything that's going on at McDonald's. It's
No,
just
there's
simply not that
even
healthy.
well-known chefs out there that have breaking down how it's made. There's documentaries about it.
Yeah, it's weird.
If you're really addicted to it and you need it in your life, well, I could pretty much say with all fibers of my being, you're in an energetic state that is a low vibrational from where life is really good.
Yeah, and that's it. So the more you start stepping into purpose, the more things like that go. It's like alcohol. I was so proud of myself for quitting
Exactly.
drinking until I realized that it was inevitable. Like I didn't
Yeah.
really have a choice. Like quitting drinking was just what's going to happen next. And McDonald's, it was never my intent to stop eating McDonald's. Just one thing led to another, and because of the choices I made, McDonald's no longer fits. And like the last few times I'd had McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever the hell it is, even though I still love Wendy's, you know, you're not supposed to.
I mean, you could just classify it as anything that's fast food, right?
Yeah, but specifically McDonald's, it's like the king of the bad ones. And I say that because of how it interacts with me. So I if I eat a Big Mac or whatever, I immediately want to go to bed. There's no two ways around it. So you know
Because it's not feeding you. It's
you're yeah,
literally
it's
empty.
taking from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you to step into purpose. It's hard for you to get to where you need to be when inflation is a thing, when nobody's making enough money, when all you can fucking afford is McDonald's. You can't afford to go to the grocery store because a cart of groceries is over $100. Meanwhile, you can get a
Yeah.
meal at McDonald's for three people for less than 20.
But also, as your energy, like as your body and your energy is rising in vibration, your meat suit is actually less hungry. Like I hardly eat, and it's not because I have an eating disorder. I love eating. I'm just
Yeah.
not hungry. So
Hmm.
I'm honoring my body and being like, you know what? What am I feeling right now? I'm feeling hungry. Okay, I'm gonna have some water because most of the time it's been proven so many times that if I'm hungry, it's usually because of dehydration. And granted, I should drink way more than I should of water, but it is it's totally like synergistic and aligned on how your body functions because we've been taught that we need to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, break your fast. We don't have to eat as much as we've been told to. It's also, trying to keep people poor
Yeah.
because it's damn expensive to eat. But as you're starting to heal and grow and raise your vibration and eat quality foods, the quality foods are feeding your cells
Hmm.
and you don't need to eat as much. It's the empty calories and the empty fillers that is what keeps us hungry for so long, which is the BS fast food and anything processed, hyper processed. You want some quality stuff and also refined sugars. We're not supposed to have as much refined sugars as we're given.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. Like if you eat a bunch of refined sugars, well, you've got hunger pains in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that was one of the greatest things about carnivore, which I need to go back on, is once you start eating carnivore, you realize that you're not that hungry. You're not that hungry. Your body's just like, okay, it's boredom and it's hunting for a flavor and a snack and a dopamine hit,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's very
desire.
rarely hunting
Yeah.
for food. It's very rare in today's day and age where you and I are crawling across the kitchen floor because we're lacking sustenance. Ugh, I'm not gonna make it. I need a burrito.
It's funny because in my youth, I was told I'm hypoglycemic, and if I don't eat, I'm going to pass out. And I have passed out. But as I got older and I started unpacking this whole food, I'm going to call it a food scandal because that's really what it is. It was because I wasn't eating quality food. I was eating a lot of McDonald's in my youth. Why? It's cheap. Like,
Big fan of McDonald's, you, eh? Just loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's no good.
Obsessed. But I got to a point in my life where I had to acknowledge how my body felt after I ate something. So it's not just that fast food restaurant. It's like if I eat, a block of cheese, how does my body feel? It feels
Stopped up.
gross.
I gotta poop. No, you don't.
No, you're done.
Yeah, you're done pooping there, cheesehead.
But it's pausing to allow my body to speak and I am listening to it.
Yeah, and if you say that to a group heavily
Like
entrenched in the
normies,
division
yeah.
narrative,
Yeah.
they're gonna argue with you. And what happens when somebody argues with you? They make you think that you're wrong, even though you've done the research. They're gonna come at you with nothing.
Yeah.
You've just made a statement to them and they're like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to come up with some stupid bullshit fucking thing. And it's not that they're bad people for doing it. It's that nobody's been trained not to do it. In fact, we've all been trained to challenge anyone who says anything to demonstrate our own knowledge. There are so many things that happened to me after waking up, and one of them was shutting the fuck up, which people wouldn't understand because this is episode 346 of my very own podcast where I
Yeah, but
simply
it's
don't shut the
different.
fuck up. Yeah.
This is your platform and you can say whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
You shut the fuck up by not engaging in arguments with dumbasses.
Yeah, and I'll say stuff, but you'll watch people just for the most part you'll watch people turn off. In other words,
Mhm.
they're not conversing with you. They're just waiting for you to stop talking so that they can say their piece. And
Yeah,
most
they
of them
got
don't even
that
wait for you to
blank
stop
stare.
talking. They just talk over you.
Blank stare.
Yeah. The fluoride stare for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, in this day and age and in this world, and this is one of those episodes where, we didn't really have much to talk about, but it was good to have you on, and it was good to sort of hash out and to let people know that yes, everything is still going on. Yes, you and I will still be working together on the Conscious Journey podcast, which is predominantly your show that I will be popping in on every now and again. Much like you will be on this show. I think eventually, if you do 2 more episodes, I think you're now the number one guest. But I mean, you're welcome here.
I'm annoyed that I'm not already.
Yeah. How did you not do it? Stop
How
recording this
rude.
episode. Record another one. You've got to be up there. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't think of anybody who would. I mean, other than you, Craig, who does the 9/11 stuff. I want to get him on the show too because we missed him on September 11th. So I got to get him back on the show. Craig, if you're listening, get on the show, Craig. Get on the show.
That stuff too is like very mind opening, and I don't think your listeners are. I hope my listeners as well. Um, they're not so close minded that they're rooted in. No, this is the way it is. I fully believe that everyone needs to adopt a anything is possible attitude, and once you do, and you start being like, maybe that's possible, certain doors open up and you start seeing things in a different perspective. It allows you to not be anchored in a certain vibration and it allows anything to actually be possible.
Yeah. And I love that too, just simply because, it's up to you. Like if you want to have a conversation with me where you're anti-Trump, I'll talk on being pro. And if you want to talk about being pro-Trump, I'll talk on being anti, right? I have the ability to speak on both sides. And so that's kind of an interesting thing. And when you talk to a lot of third dimensional people, that doesn't make any fucking sense to them. They want to attack you and they want to show you how good they are at regurgitating the narrative.
Hmm.
And that's not for them to do anything, right? Because you're allowed to look crazy to them. It's for you to be like, I don't need to focus too much energy on this one person. And it sounds harsh because I've had high school friends that I don't talk to anymore they because they came at me with that kind of aggression. And some people can say, well, maybe you shouldn't have said the things that you said. And the funny thing is, I don't know why it comes down to me. Why is it that I always have to defend my actions? Yet the people who are crazy enough to like yell at you and unfriend you and tell you to go fuck yourself, these people are the normies. How is it possible that by speaking common sense, you become somebody who needs to defend their words, yet anyone who wants to cut you off or call you trash is fully obligated to do it. They're like, yeah, it's in the right. It's in their right to do that. And it's just the weirdest thing. I've
Yeah,
never understood why I had to defend my side of the story. Meanwhile, they can get away with being total assholes and do whatever the hell they want.
it
It's
goes
just a
hand in
strange thing.
hand with like excessive censorship. Just because you disagree doesn't mean you should be censored. You should be able to have an open conversation and a dialogue with someone. Be like, this is my perspective and this is why. And then the other person can say, this is my perspective, this is why, without being like, fuck you, you're wrong. I'm like, dude, emotionally regulate, pause, and fucking have a conversation.
Well, I mean, when I talk about that, when we talk about cancel culture, it drives me nuts
Oh, yeah.
that Kimmel got canceled. Because I don't want to be associated with people who do that. But the funny thing is, two things on this. Kimmel wasn't attacked by cancel culture. Kimmel said something stupid. And Kimmel has bosses. And this is what people don't understand. It's not freedom of speech. It's like if you piss off your bosses, you get fired. It doesn't matter what company you work for.
Yeah.
If you're out there doing your real estate stuff and you're representing your real estate company and you're in your real estate colors and you're throwing, I don't know what, middle fingers at babies,
Yeah.
maybe you shouldn't be doing that while you're wearing the colors. So that's not freedom of speech. That's you being an asshole.
Well, we've also
But
lost the art of conversation for
what makes me
completely.
laugh about this is the amount of people that were so quick to cancel all of the people that were on the left, or wait, the liberal left. In Canada and the States, they changed the thing. It's another form of confusion. In Canada, the red guys are the bad guys, but I think in the
In the
States, the red
States,
guys
they're
are the good
supposed to
guys.
be like, yeah, who knows? But then again, you ask someone who's a Democrat, they're like, they're not the good guys.
Well, I'm talking about the real good guys. I'm not talking about the guys that the crazy people like. Right. And then that's another funny thing. People are like, well, how can you say that? I'm like, well, most of my shit's in jest. I don't believe in liberal or conservative. If
Yeah,
anything,
two
I'm
wings of the
conservative
same
leaning,
bird.
but I don't believe in any of that shit.
Can I just call myself a traditionalist? Like, I don't give
Maybe.
a shit for politics, left, right, or whatever. I'm a traditionalist. Like, I like to keep shit simple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to understand too. We're going to have to understand that politics must go. Like the
Yeah.
idea behind somebody being our leader needs to stop.
But
Bottom line.
oh, you're gonna get people who'll be like, oh, we can't get rid of them because they're the ones who will protect us all from all the bad people out there. There's so many bad people.
You know
Yeah,
what it reminds
there's
me of? It's like the old mafia back in the day, where You pay me $250 a week, and we'll
Yeah.
protect you from us.
Exactly.
We won't break your windows for 250
We
bucks a week.
won't ruin your
Yeah.
lives.
And then
Oh,
you'll hear
that's
people say things like, "We need the government because how else will we get roads?" I'm like, "Oh my God." To anyone that says we need the government, you're the problem. You're the problem. And so it's kind of funny,
sorry,
you
not
know, but these
sorry.
people need to exist for us to understand where we stand.
100%.
And so
Everyone,
it's
each one of us are on our own journeys,
yeah,
and they're metrics for us to acknowledge. Because I'll admit it, it's probably one of the I can't even say regret, but it's a learning point. But I used to, back when Trudeau had his nice coiffed hair, and he's like, "We're headed for sunny ways." I was like, "This dude's young. He's got fresh perspectives. This is gonna help the whole entire world." And that was when I was a normie, and I believed politics was actually going to help change something. Now I believe, I'm like, no, it's just a little dog and pony show that really doesn't do anything. Two wings of the same bird, just to
yeah,
keep everyone distracted, keep everyone divided, and it's literally the most pointless organization created.
yeah, yeah. All of it is, and yet all we do is we sit here and we argue over it. Who
Yeah.
said what? Who shot who in the what now? All that sort of stuff. Like we just argue, and the more we argue, the less time we spend understanding who we are, what we're capable of. The more time we give away our power. So we're over here handing away our power as opposed to building off from it.
Hmm.
You know, I'm over here. My only intention with everything that I'm doing is making people understand that they are essentially the creator. They are the entity that is going to save them. They are all powerful. Anyone listening to the show, there's nothing that you can't do, and we are here to help you understand and comprehend that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I'm public enemy number one. I'm the one that people want to attack. You see all the people that want, they've got comments, they've got all this shit. And if they've got nothing to say about what I'm saying, they attack my character. Like you
Hmm.
fucking know me. You know, you're going to go ad hominem, right? And then, so for the longest time, I thought that this was people. But you realize that 99% of the time, it's not people, it's bots.
Hmm.
The majority of the internet, and this is the next episode that we do, is going to be fake internet. So episode 347 is all about dead internet, which is something I had meant to talk about, and we spoke on it on Facebook a few or at least a month ago, but it's coming up next week. So actually, not even well, yeah, next week. So today's Friday. This episode is going live today because I'm apologizing to everybody that we didn't launch the Monday episode. So I brought on the most beautiful girl
Sorry.
I know.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
yeah, she's quite sultry right now, ladies and gentlemen. And so she's here as a peace offering, and then on Monday we're gonna go live with the Dead Internet episode.
Nice.
So it's yeah, it's kind of fun to see this, to understand this, to comprehend this, and then to realize that nobody's really attacking you. And if they are attacking you, it's cute, it's adorable. Oh, you're actually angry about this stuff because I'm not. I come on here, I say my 2 cents, I turn the mic off, I barely edit the show, and then I go out and
That's
I
also
I
part
mow
of the
whatever lawn
awakening.
needs to be mowed.
It's part of the awakening process. Like all of us who have gone through our awakenings, we've all argued with the bots and the NPCs online. We all
Right,
have, and we felt like it was our duty to defend and promote a perspective that they don't agree with. But the higher you vibrate and the more you start to understand, it's like arguing with a brick wall. There's
right.
0 point. It drains you. It doesn't fill your cup. It takes from you, and it's designed to anchor in anyone who's trying to shed their um, restrictions, shed their old lives, and improve their lives. It's
Mhm.
designed to try and keep them in that world because that's how it was designed. It wants you to stay where you are. It wants you to stay arguing with the other people. It wants you to stay divided. It wants you to think you're better than your neighbor. It wants you to think you're better because, you got the right, color of skin, color of eyes, the right amount of money in your bank account, the right amount of assets, the right amount of jobs or whatever. It's all
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's true though.
Shut it. So yeah, fuck the NPCs.
And this is your show that you're swapcasting. I'm not sure if you can say the F word.
Laura and I dropped a lot of F-bombs on my last episode, so
Shout
I'm
out to
not a,
Laura.
I'm not a, just because I am a girl does not mean I'm a dainty flower that can't say fuck.
Fuck. Wait
I'm
till the audience
passionate.
finds out. Oh no, they'll never find out. But what I've got in store for you, you dainty little flower. Um, yeah. Well, what I want to do, I want to take a page out of Tom Segura's book, but we'll figure that out later.
Oh my goodness.
I really like that show. I like the dynamics that they have. So that's that's something that
It's cute. They have a
we'll
cute
work
show.
towards for sure. Especially since we'll be able to do a lot more in-person stuff. I'll be
Yeah.
doing more traveling.
Yeah.
So it'll be it will be a grand experience. But I think on that beautiful note, we should wrap this episode up.
Let's do
This
it.
was kind of a smorgasbord of hey, let's get on, let's talk, let's shoot the breeze, and it's also a good reintroduction, a reminder to this audience to go and check out the Conscious Journey podcast. The link will be in the bio to see sort of what Kristy's up to over there, to see what we've done, the few things that we've done. The Authentic Shift podcast exists currently. If you haven't heard it, go and check it out. But those episodes will eventually all make their way over to Conscious Journey.
Yeah,
Time
it'll be
wise,
clearly identified. It'll say in my notes, but like, hey, this was number 9 of Authentic Shift. Now it's number 13
perfect.
of
So
the
yeah,
Conscious
and
Journey.
that'll help you build. And ladies and gentlemen, too, if you have any interest or passion towards creating a podcast, reach out to us. If you want your book written, we're doing book ghostwriting as well. Hit us up, info at the Mental Mastery Alliance. If you have anything you want to get done, head over to the mentalmasteryalliance.com. See if there's anything in there that you yourself like. And make sure to check out Kristy and everything that she's doing. She is constantly changing, growing, adapting. Her Instagram page is wonderful. It's, again, a smorgasbord of everything that she's doing.
Hmm.
If you're looking for a fantastic rental, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to get a little bit closer to Kristy, she has a beautiful house out in Costa Rica that she will rent to you at the mental mastery discount of whatever price we absolutely mark it up to, 90% off of that. That's how crazy we're going to be for the Mental Mastery Alliance discount. Yeah,
Love it.
that's right. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Say no more, botchkis. But yes, jokes aside, she does have a beautiful villa. Go check it out. Get a rental. Ward, if you're listening, you can rent it too. We'll allow it this time. Um, is there anything that you wanted to pop into the end of this then?
No, I think this is great. It was nice to pop back in. I'm glad that we're headed into fall. We'll do a lot more content creation since the outside will be snowy, and
True.
I don't like being cold. So I'm ready to chat all winter.
Perfect. Perfect. Then we'll come back out shiny, happy people. And then I will say this in the, ladies and gentlemen, in the infamous words of Red Green, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.